President Joe Biden just passed a bill banning TikTok in the United States. Do you think there's a secret agenda behind this, or do you think he's got our best interest in mind? This really concerns me because you have the government saying this platform is no good, and these other ones like Facebook and Instagram are okay. Now, I know what you're gonna say. TikTok is a Chinese company, and more than likely the Chinese government is involved with it. However, if the government and Joe Biden was so concerned about our privacy, which sounds great, I love that. I love that they're thinking about our privacy and our security, so that's why they're banning TikTok, right? But if they were that concerned, why not make some privacy laws that all social media companies have to follow? Make it for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube, all of them, right? They start passing bills like that where they can't capture all of our information and sell it to other people. I'd be on board with that. That's why I think there's more to this story of banning TikTok. And Joe Rogan just had Tulsi Gabbard on his show, and he asked her that very question. Take a look.
What's your opinion on this potential TikTok ban?
I think Ron Paul said it best when he said that this legislation is the most, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said it's the most egregious violation of civil liberty since the Patriot Act was passed in the wake of 9/11. And the language and the way that's written is intentionally vague, that puts far more power into the hands of the executive branch, just like the Patriot Act did, to single-handedly say, well, this is a good guy and this is a bad guy. And that has a direct implication on Americans.
Any bills that are passed that give the president the sole authority to carry things out, I think is a very bad thing. And it sounds like that's exactly what this one's doing. That Patriot Act, man, that was a pretty bad thing. I know when it was passed, we're all on board and protect our freedoms. We're willing to give up security for freedom, right? That is not a good thing. And that was a mistake back then. And I think this is a mistake too.
Wasn't there another recent thing that passed that allows more observation of people through cell phones?
Yes. They lumped together a whole bunch of different things. They were separate previously, but the thing that the TikTok ban was lumped together with was the bill that would reinstate or extend the Foreign Intelligence Security Act authorities for another 2 years. Section 702 of FISA gives our government the authority to surveil foreign actors, essentially, to try to identify terrorist threats.
No terrorists? Sounds great. I'm on board with that. Or is there something else going on here?
But part of that is they have the ability to capture all of the conversations. If you talk to somebody in another country that they're interested in, they can then go in and capture all of your information as an American citizen.
Wait, what?
And they can do this without a warrant. This has been in place for quite some time, but this legislation that was just passed recently expanded those authorities so they can go and actually look at like your Wi-Fi history. If you're connected to Wi-Fi, they can look at everything that you did connected to that Wi-Fi signal and in some other ways. It took an already bad problem and made it many, many times worse.
So this is brilliant. They know that they probably can't pass this one law again on its own, right? Because they probably have to be pretty transparent and open and talk about it. But what they do is they say, TikTok's bad. We hate TikTok. The Chinese government is spying on you. Let's stop that. Oh, and by the way, we're going to just throw this one in here too underneath, and we won't talk about this bill, but we'll pass them all. TikTok sucks, right? Yeah, TikTok sucks. Let's ban it. Let's get rid of it. Brilliant idea by the government. I know they've been doing this for years. This is nothing new, but it's just incredible that things like this happen. And I love the fact that we have media like this out there, like Joe Rogan, that we can talk about this on and we can get information about it. And you know what I mean? At what point in the future would they might say, well, you know what? We should ban YouTube. We should ban the Joe Rogan Experience, right? Because we don't agree with what's going on with those platforms or those people. So whether you agree with things or not, you really have to stick up for them, because it's a very slippery slope when one person gets to decide this is good and this is bad. Let's keep listening.
We have limited resource and limited people.
Yeah.
What are they not investigating? You talked about the DEA. What about the FBI and all these millions of people who are coming across our border? Are they tracking who they are? No, they're not. Are they tracking where they're going? No, they're not. We have no idea. People coming from the Middle East and Asia and Eastern Europe and Venezuela, gang members, like all of this stuff is happening right before our very eyes.
That's a scary thing. All these people are pouring over the border, and the government has no idea who they are or where they're going. They're giving people money when they come into this country illegally, and they're also giving them plane tickets to fly anywhere they want to in the US. Now, that should concern you. It concerns me. There's more on that. I've done another video. We can talk about that at another time. Let's get back to it.
Elon and X Elon specifically was the only one who stood up amongst our American big tech companies to say, no, this is a very bad bill. The others, to my knowledge, were very, very silent, or they were actually coming out in support of it.
Shout out to Elon for protecting democracy. You may not like him or agree what he's doing. I don't care. He is protecting free speech. I love it. Thanks, Elon.
Other than X and TikTok, the Biden administration has been very successful at working with Google and Meta, Facebook, Instagram, in being able to control quote unquote disinformation and information. So when you look at from a government standpoint, well, why if you're concerned about data security and privacy, why aren't you doing it across the board and treating every social media company that Americans use with that same standard? Well, maybe they're just going after the ones that they can't actually control and intimidate into doing their work for them.
So now that you got a little more information behind the ban on TikTok, do you think it's a secret agenda as well? I think there's still much more at play here, and the government really isn't going to let us know all of it. Or do you think that China's bad? Ban anything from China. Is that your stance on it? Let me know in the comments what you think, or if you've changed your mind and you think, you know what? You got a good point here. If they ban TikTok, it sounds like they're going to, the law's already been passed. What's going to stop them from banning any of these other social media companies? And that's the scary part, because that's where we get a lot of information from. And I believe the government shouldn't be allowed to ban these platforms. Again, just pass some laws that protect our privacy if that's what this is all about. But again, like they said in the video, there's other things involved in this that they're packing into this bill and just telling people, yeah, this is a TikTok ban. Don't look at what's behind the curtain and all the other things we're packing into this bill. Now, if you got a better understanding of what's going on, don't forget to subscribe, and you're gonna love this next video, because this will get you fired up on the illegals that are getting flown into this country now. And I bet you're not gonna believe what's happening here. So don't forget to watch this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in this video.